Welcome back to Tarot and Beyond. Today's reading is Messages from the Ascended Masters. So we have 3 groups to choose from today, Group 1, Group 2, and Group 3. Select the pile that resonates with you and use the timestamps linked in the description box or pinned in the comment section below to jump ahead to your chosen reading or readings. And we'll see you there. All right, hi group number 1. If you chose this pile, these are going to be messages from the Ascended Masters to you. So let's take a look and see what's coming up for you. We have Lalita, the red goddess. Playfulness is a spiritual power. Laughter leads me back to the light. You also have Yang. Time to go. The sun sets and rises each day, and it's the same with the avenues in your life. See the beauty within each sunset in your life and know that the sun will also rise again tomorrow. Endings are merely the start of a new beginning, and we are with you through each phase of your cycle. Each phase and cycle. And you have Detach from Drama, Pallas Athena. Balance, I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. And Revelation, Angel Amitiel and Blue Obsidian. And then the Violet Flame. Okay. Just going to move those like that for aesthetic reasons. And then we'll get into your reading. Okay, so group number 1, what I'm seeing here is that there's something coming to light that you were not aware of. So there's something that the Ascended Masters have been wanting to communicate to you about this for a while, but you haven't really been open to it, is what they're showing me. And that's not your fault. It's just the situation or the environment that you were in made it very, very difficult for them to communicate to you. You've been in this very action-oriented, pushing type of energy where you're not necessarily open or in the right harmonic frequency to receive their guidance and their insights. Now, that doesn't necessarily have to be all the time. They're just showing me it's like 80% of the time you're in push and go and do mode. And what they want you to know is that it's okay to step back sometimes and create more balance in your life, to just feel and be and receive. And that's going to open up a lot of spiritual power for you. It's going to help you to reconnect to your inner voice and that playfulness that can actually come from that, and be able to express that outwardly once you've had some time to just sit and receive the messages. You're going to have a lot of revelations as you set some time to do these types of things. Could be meditating. It could be getting creative and playing, or even doing something that's semi-active, like learning a new skill or hobby, but that isn't so mind-oriented. It's more physical or it's more creative. Because what they're showing me is that the situation you've been in has been very demanding of you. Testing, trying, demanding. Those are the words that they're giving me. And if this is a kind of situation or circumstance that you can leave, they are recommending that, because time to go and detach from drama, it's pretty clear here. But what they're showing me is that the environment has not been conducive to you really feeling safe enough to just let go and open up and be able to receive. The Ascended Masters have been sending you guidance here. And a lot of it is to try and help you to transmute your part of the energy that you're kind of involved in right now. This could be a group of people, because they keep showing me an environment and several people that you may be connected to directly or indirectly. And it's kind of like that environment doesn't give you the opportunity to really just slow down and be and to feel and feel playful. Maybe it's like a all business, all work, no play type of situation, or it just doesn't really feel safe for you to let your guard down or be vulnerable and just relax a little bit. And that may be the drama that is keeping you kind of in this loop of imbalance where you're too much in your doing energy and not enough in your being. But they want to help you to transmute any of the dross, that's a word that I use to describe energy buildup, that has accumulated from the situation, from the drama in the environment that is being passed to you through the people that you're dealing with here. And it does feel like it is a physical place. So this could be a work environment, and the people could be colleagues. But if you work from home and you work alone, then this could be a friend group and a place that you usually go with them, or an environment that's you frequent. That's what they're showing me. So to find balance here, the Ascended Masters are really recommending that you take a step back from involving yourself in that environment if you can, in some way, or even just incorporating more. I was going to say like incorporating something else into the environment to help you to cope with it better, but they don't recommend that. They're like, you can try and transmute all you want, but it's kind of like pointless for a fish who's in a dirty fish tank to continue to try and clean it themselves. You know, it's like you're not going to be able to make a difference. And it's just going to continue to toxify you. So it's counterproductive because then you're not able to function well, and neither is, anyone else in the environment. So it does feel like it is a particular place, and it's just time to go. I can't, I was trying to think of a less abrupt and cut and dry way of saying that, but that's what they keep showing me. They're like, you can't be there anymore. Like no amount of incense or sage or cleansing spray or love and light is going to make this environment better. It's just not ideal for you, and that's okay. It's no judgment to the people. It's no judgment to the place. It's no judgment to anybody. It's just not ideal for you. And it doesn't give you the opportunity to really shine and thrive. So the Ascended Masters are very directly recommending that you make some changes in your life that allow you to move away or out of this situation or this environment. And then once you are out of it, once you have removed yourself from it, and you're in a safer environment and you feel less toxicity and less drag and density in your aura, in your energetic field, they are then recommending that you do some cleansing. So the violet flame here talking about doing that transmutation work and clearing out some of that dross, because then you can actually do it because you're not in the environment that's consistently creating that toxicity. So it's like you could clear every day when you get home, and then the next day when you go into this environment, you're just it's building up again. And then it's just this constant loop of always kind of chasing it around, and it's like, it's frustrating because, and the line from the Harry Potter movie, the third movie, Prisoner of Azkaban, when they're talking about Sirius Black and they're saying it's like trying to catch smoke with your bare hands. You can't do it. You can kind of move it around, but you can't catch it and hold it. So it's kind of like that, where you can't keep your energy field clear so long as this environment is in your life consistently. So yeah, I really I don't like delivering these kinds of messages, just going to be really honest with you guys, because it's very cut and dry, and I don't like giving that kind of advice where it's like telling you kind of what you should do, because I think there's always very subjective individual sides of this, and it's not always appropriate to give advice like that. But this is a pick a card reading, and so you guys, the reason that we do them in this way, and it's not just one reading that you click on, is so that you use your intuition to guide you to the reading that has the messages meant for you. And then, because it's a general reading still, even though it's a little more individualized, you want to only take what resonates with you and leave anything that doesn't. And how do you know if something resonates? Well, first of all, you feel it. Second of all, you might have some kind of context for it where it just makes sense to you. It feels right. You'll feel it in your bones, kind of thing, and that's kind of what I'm seeing here. Is I was being called to mention that in the beginning of the reading, and then I kind of waited, and now they're saying, talk about that because it's important in this context, not just for this reading, but also for any other reading that you watch. And specifically in regard to this situation, the Ascended Masters want you to really apply the intuition and discernment, because that's also part of this. And when you're in that environment where it's really hard for you to receive guidance and information and feel in alignment with yourself, because you're constantly kind of in the mind instead of in the body or in connection to the soul, it's very difficult to discern. It's very challenging to listen to your intuition and take action on it appropriately. So that's another whole side of this lesson, and that's why they wanted me to talk about that and mention it, because it is directly related to the situation and the type of, impact that it is having on you. So this is like, it's funny because what they're showing me is the right hand being up here and the right hand being up here, and then the yang is right side of the body. So like yang energy is masculine polarity, and that's the right side of the body. And that's why we're seeing the right hands here with these two cards. So I'm feeling like it's time to take action so that you can actually get into your more feminine polarity energy, which is the left side of the body. And that is the ability to receive and feel and intuit. And so it's ironically or paradoxically through the action that you're being called to take, which will allow you to step into that receptive mode or receptive energy or state of being. So yeah, the action they're recommending is to detach from the situation, to move out of it if you can physically, because it is time to go, and it has been creating a lot of imbalance for you. And you probably already know this, right? If your intuition and your higher self told you that this was the reading for you, there's a reason that you are here. Even if you don't fully understand it right now, it will make sense later, or for most of you, I think it'll make sense right now. And you're like, yeah, I know what this situation is. And I've been feeling like I needed to do something about it for a while now, but I've been putting it off because first of all, maybe you weren't fully aware of it, but you felt it intuitively. But again, because you kept bypassing it through the mind and too much kind of go, and being kind of in, I don't know, like this energy of, it feels like productivity, but it's like stressful productivity. So it's not even really productive because you're constantly in a state of stress. Do you know what I mean? It feels like a very stressful, toxic work environment. That's really the vibe I get from it. And this is a revelation maybe for you. Maybe you weren't fully aware of this, but maybe you felt it in your body. But it definitely, it has been creating a lot of imbalance in your life. Your emotional stability has been impacted negatively from the environment. Your ability to connect to your inner child, because your inner child has not felt safe. It may even be disempowering to you in some way. And it's just very heavy. Like, it's giving me 10 of Wands energy, the tarot card 10 of Wands. It's like this person carrying all these sticks, and it's just heavy. So it feels like a burden, or it feels like a weight on you that really, it's not it's not serving you. Like, I just got to say it. It's not serving you, group number 1. So I do want to get some tarot cards, I think. I didn't pull any specific tarot decks out because I wasn't planning on it. But now that I've mentioned the 10 of Wands, I'm kind of like curious. So let me just choose one. Okay, so we're going to use the True Heart Intuitive Tarot. And thank you to the donor who sent these in to us. Okay, you've got the 7 of Discs. Look at her in the desert there trying to harvest nothing. It's like you're putting in all this work and you're really getting nothing back for it. It's not an ideal situation. It's not fun. It's very frustrating. And it's got you in your head a lot and rationalizing the environment, the behavior, the drama, rationalizing it rather than seeing it for what it is and being able to change the situation. I feel like humans, we are so good at rationalizing things. We can justify just about anything, especially if it's uncomfortable to realize that truth, because it will require us to do something we don't necessarily want to do but need to do. So yeah, again, that's really what I'm seeing there. Oh, you have another 7 of Wands. So it is going to be about, I just heard claiming territory. Okay. I was going to say standing your ground and setting some boundaries to protect yourself here. But what did they just say? Claiming territory, something like that. Yeah. So it's definitely about environment. And if you absolutely cannot leave the environment, then setting some kind of a barrier line, or they're showing me in my mind, in the movies when there's like demons or witches, like in Hocus Pocus, and salt is a protective barrier, and you can quite literally make like a line of salt or a ring of salt as a form of protection to denote safe space within that circle. Worst case scenario, you could do that, and even you could use that technique in the interim while you look for maybe another job or another friend group, or those are the two that really come to mind. I don't think it's a home situation. It definitely feels like it's outside of your home, and that's why you're being recommended to change it. But it does feel like there's negative people or toxic people in the environment. So you can cleanse your energy and you can do all that stuff, like I was saying, but that's really only a band-aid. And to stop the bleeding and let that wound heal, it's like, you got to move out of that space. But in the interim, if you want to, make a salt circle or just energetically, claim your territory as your own and say this is a sacred space, you can set that intention. Temperance is all about balance, and we did have the balance card here. See how she's mixing those two and creating perfect balance between the 2 cups of water. So I do feel like this is about finding your own inner balance, and the Temperance card is about moderation. It is about finding the mixture that works. It is through trial and error and experimentation that we learn through what does and doesn't work. It's like process of elimination. So I do feel like try a couple things, right? Like you don't have to jump to, I quit my job or I'm cutting off all my friends. Like that might be that's why I was even hesitant to share this message, because I'm like, that seems excessive, like, does it really need to escalate that quickly? If it's really bad and you already know this and you're like, yeah, I do need to make a change, then go for it. But I feel like you could maybe make some adjustments and see if that changes things. And then at least you'll know that you covered all your bases. And if nothing else works, then it is really time to go. And you will know that. And this can help you to kind of learn how to trust your intuition by feeling a little bit more too, right? Because it's like practice where you have to like try to make these adjustments and then see how you feel. If your mood improves, if your health improves, if your state of mind improves and your body feels safer, you will notice a difference. But sometimes it's hard to tell, because if you've been in this for a long time, again, another wonderful yet sometimes counterproductive thing about humans is that we are very, very adaptable and resilient. And so we will not easily, but we will quite quickly adapt to environments that are not necessarily ideal for us. And then that becomes the norm. And because it's the norm, it feels normal, but it's not. And we can get really comfortable in unhealthy environments. And so we don't really notice it as much because we don't have the context of what a healthy environment would actually feel like. So I think that's another part of this too, right? It's finding and making those changes in small ways so that you can maybe notice a difference. And even a small difference is going to be enough to be like, oh, wow, this is way worse than I thought it was. Now I need to leave completely. So it can kind of give you a little bit of an incremental way of seeing what needs to be done or feeling what needs to be done. 9 of Cups. Oh, I'm glad to see that here, because the 9 of Cups is a beautiful card of self-fulfillment, and it really is like you being able to grant your own wishes. So I do feel like once you detach from this drama and you transmute some of the energy that you've been experiencing, you're going to clear up your field, your energy field, your aura. And as a result, you're going to feel so much happier. Like that's what I see, is like you just coming out of this dark cloud and going, oh, it wasn't me. It was where I was. It was quite literally just the environment. It's like you take the fish out of the toxic tank, the dirty tank, and you put them in a fresh, clean tank. They're going to thrive. They're going to do so well because there was nothing wrong with the fish. It was the environment. It was the environment the whole time. And so if you've been struggling with like anxiety, depression, things like that, look to your environment, because your natural state of homeostasis, which is kind of like the natural balance that you're existing in, has adjusted to an environment that is unhealthy. And because that has become the state of homeostasis, that's like the normalcy, you haven't been really noticing how bad it's gotten and how much it's affecting you. But the Ascended Masters see it and they understand, because the Ascended Masters were here on Earth, right? Angels and other spirits and other like higher dimensional beings, they are wonderful. And they've never really incarnated on Earth or third dimensional planets. So they don't fully comprehend what it's like to be human, but the Ascended Masters do. They have the context because they have been here and they have made mistakes and they have done all of the things that we've done. So this is why they want you to know these things, is because it's part of your learning, is what they just said. It's part of your lesson in finding balance and creating that for yourself through your ability to take action. And then as a result of that aligned action, to feel safer and to be able to relax and then receive. And oh my God, are you going to receive? You're just going to feel so much happier. Things are going to be more balanced. You might need to take some time alone to just kind of cleanse and refresh your energy, go through a bit of like a detox period energetically, because you've been you've been taking some hits here for a long time, is what I'm feeling and seeing here. Years, like you've been in this environment for years. And even if you changed jobs, it's kind of like you went from the same type of environment in each new consecutive location or employment. And if these are friends, it's kind of like these are really old, long-time friends, or you've had new groups of friends, but they really kind of feel like the old friends, they're very similar. So you can't harvest anything in that environment, like you can till the sand all day long, but it's not going to grow anything. So it's not even really worth it to stick around there, because it's really just kind of taxing you energetically and putting you in a bad position. So yeah, I think that's pretty much, let me grab, I know they're saying to grab More cards here. We have the Eight of Cups, which is walking away. So that's confirmation. It's time to go. We had the time to go card, and then we've got the Eight of Cups. So it is definitely time to go. And that's going to help you find more balance. It's going to help you to, it's like you're setting a final boundary of, okay, this is my limit. And if you guys can't play within it, then I'm going to skedaddle, See you later. Or maybe never. Two of Wands. It is a decision you have to make though, right? And I think that there will be a little bit of trial and error in making that decision and finding the path that's right for you. That's why balance and temperance are here, right? It's trying to help you to find that balance through sometimes overcorrecting or undercorrecting, and then through the experience of those, being able to contextualize what is going to serve you best. A more aligned action that's more balanced. So yeah, I feel like, bottom of the deck, we have the Hanged Man. Okay, so you've been in this state of suspension for quite some time, and I think you just needed a little bit of an objective perspective coming from the Ascended Masters here to have this realization and know what you need to do, and then begin experimenting to see what works best in your circumstance, because this is a general reading for many people. So take what resonates with you and apply it how you see fit. All right, guys. So that is what I see for you, group number 1. I hope that this reading from the Ascended Masters helped, and that you get yourself into an environment that is really going to be conducive to your overall health and well-being. That is my wish for you in that 9 of Cups, happily ever after, self-fulfillment energy. Okay. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for supporting the channel. And if you guys want to book a private reading with me, I am taking clients right now, and you can book through my website. It's tarotandbeyond.com, which is linked in the description box below. All right, guys, we'll see you in the next reading. Bye. All right. Hi, group number 2. Welcome to your Ascended Masters reading. You guys chose this pile, so let's take a look at what the Ascended Masters have to say to you. All right. We have Mary of Nazareth, the Mother of God. I am blessed, and my courage gives birth to the divine. Okay. We have a change in the wind. Release and surrender. We shower you with blessings of our radiant love. Open your arms and release the challenges that you've held tightly gripped within your hands. Open your hands, arms, and heart to our love and assistance. Looks like the Ascended Masters really want to help you out here to create some change for you, but you're going to need to surrender to do that. We'll get a little deeper as we go. Let's see. Listen, Manjushri. Well, you are, right? You're literally here listening. So that is a good indication that you are on your way to making some very positive changes for yourself as you're guided by the Ascended Masters. And you have service. I feel good when I can help others. You may be called to do some service work. I'm not trying to get ahead of myself here, though. So you have Goddess Shi Wang, Mu, and Stromatolite. Rare success. Okay, so you'll be very successful at that. I do want to put this one in the middle. And you have Reclaim Your Energy. Okay. So group number 2. Okay, I feel like the Ascended Masters are talking about something that is very, very unique. This is it's not as miraculous as like the birthing of Jesus, Immaculate Conception type of thing, but that's the example or the archetype that they are showing me. So it's kind of like there's something that they're trying to bless you with here that is extremely rare, unique, and just almost like unheard of. So this is pretty extra, what I'm seeing here. And it's happening around you. It's happening like through you and around you and for you as a result of you being able to release and surrender and follow the path of service that your soul has guided you to. So similar to Yeshua or Jesus, when he incarnated here on earth, he had a very, very specific form of service that he was here to provide for the world. And for him, it was through healing and through communication, through teaching. So it was mostly what he did was healing and teaching. And I'm seeing that there's something here that you're doing that is similar. So you may be a healer or a teacher or a mother or all of the above, or somebody who supports others in some way. Maybe even energy healing, because we have reclaim your energy here. But this is something that may have happened quite abruptly, like you may have been led down this path or are being led down this path right now. It's like a change that happens very quickly, like that change in the wind, right? It's not something that just gradually blows in. It's like goes from blowing this way to blowing that way really quickly. So you may have been walking down one path in life and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, that's not it. That's not what my soul came here to do. And then you remembered and went, oh, okay, actually I gotta go back this way, or I'm gonna go off this way, wherever it is, and it was that release and surrender, or is that release and surrender to that redirection that I'm seeing here as being very divinely guided, very, very divinely guided. And you listening to that intuitive nudge or that guidance that you're receiving or that feedback that you're getting from the universe, that is really helping you to reclaim your power, reclaim your energy, and step into these blessings. I just keep seeing I am blessed and showering with blessings, rare success in your service work. So the more that you can surrender and listen to your calling and heed that calling, the more that you are going to see the blessings show up. And they're not necessarily external blessings like gold and treasure and money and riches and fame and fortune. No. The blessings they're talking about here are far beyond mortal values. That's what they said. Far beyond mortal values. The blessings they're talking about here is soul level alchemy. They also use the word catalyzation. So you're catalyzing things. You are reclaiming your energy in this way. In your service work, it definitely feels like you are transmuting energy or you are alchemizing energy. And when we look at alchemy was traditionally like turning lead into gold. So, but again, this isn't like physical fortune. This is taking something at a baser level and turning it into something priceless. In this case, the energy that you're creating or working with is priceless. And the way that you're now working with it, or that you're being called to work with it in service to the collective, is extremely unique and rare. And I do feel like it will come with a certain level of miracles and miraculous things that you will experience or that you will have other people experience through working with you. It's definitely giving me Jesus vibes. Like you guys might work closely with Jesus as one of your additional like extended guides. And if that is the case, I would not be surprised if you're an energy healer, because I know as an energy healer myself, I have seen Yeshua show up for me many times through many synchronicities, in many visions, many meditations, anytime that I go into the heart space and I'm working with the energy of love, Jesus shows up for me. And he's been with me since I was little. And then he shows up periodically throughout my work, but especially when I started to become more conscious and do this work intentionally, because I was surrendered to this path that unfolded for me. That's what I'm seeing for you too. So it's something like that, where you're going to listen or feel this. If you haven't made this change already, you're being called to right now. Like it's going to change quite quickly. Things are going to happen that redirect your life in a very destined type of way, and you're going to know what you need to do. You might not know the entire path ahead of you, but you'll have an idea of what direction is the next step in. So you won't see necessarily like 100 feet ahead, but you'll see at least a foot to 10 feet ahead, depending on the day, depending on the phase of your journey that you're on. But you'll be having enough context and enough clarity to take each next step, and that will get you right along that path that you've carved for yourself pre-incarnation. Because that's what I'm seeing here, is that you set this path for yourself at soul level. You said, this is what I'm going to do. This is the role that I signed up for, I'm signing up for. And I'm going to go into this lifetime in service to others in a very big and profound way. So I do see you working with other people directly or indirectly and really helping to alchemize. They keep using that word, alchemize, and catalyze growth for people at soul level. You are activating them, you are healing them, you are helping them to awaken in some way. They are listening to you as you listen to spirit. It feels very similar to kind of like the path that I'm on, or that spirit guided me onto, speaking, teaching, healing, those types of things, right? That's really what I see here. And you're going to be very successful at that. Group number 2, if you were called intuitively, like if your higher self or your intuition or your gut feeling called you to this reading, or your guides were like, yeah, group 2, that's for you. You are going to be so successful at this. Not just from a human standpoint, although that will be part of it. Because if we look at Yeshua or Jesus as an archetype, he was very successful. He literally changed the world, and we base our time even on him, AD and BC. And there's really like, the Bible is the most popular book in the world, and it's been around for thousands of years. So this is literally some like life-changing, world-changing stuff. Am I saying that you're going to be the new Jesus? No, I'm not, okay? So let's dial it back a little bit there. But that's the archetype. And some aspect of that will fall into place in your journey in some way. It's probably not as big as that, but in context of your life, it will feel like that. That's what they're trying to say here, is it will feel that big for you. And it will have a positive, lasting impact on the world, although maybe not historically quite as big as Jesus. But it will still energetically at soul level leave a very big positive footprint. So I see you really following this change in the wind. It's like you feel it, you're listening, you're releasing and surrendering, and you're like, okay, I hear the call. I hear the call and I am here for it. This is literally what I came here to do. And even though my human self might feel a little bit unprepared or unsteady or a little bit hesitating in this, big change or doing this work, at soul level, you're like, yes, 100% yes. Like, let's go. Let's do this. This is what I said I was going to do. And this is what I wanted to do. And now I'm here and I feel it and I'm going to do it. And I feel like you're going to be really confident once you kind of get the ball rolling. If you haven't started doing this work yet, trust me, you are going to get so much more confident in yourself as you just kind of apply the knowledge that you have at soul level. Like, yes, you can learn different modalities and stuff like that. Maybe you want to learn tarot and oracle. Maybe you want to learn Reiki. Maybe you want to learn to read the Akashic records. Maybe you want to do hypnotherapy, or you want to learn to teach in some other modality. Whatever you want to do, you can do that if it feels right for you. Just make sure that it feels right for you. That's really kind of the guiding force there. That's like your measurement stick. Does it feel good? If the answer is yes, then it's a good thing to do, because as you feel good, that is your highest service, really. Like, you're here to embody your own power. And so when you feel good and you're helping other people, that's a win-win situation. And you've heard me say this probably before if you're not new to the channel. Win-wins are alignment. That is how you know that you are spiritually in alignment. So the more that you can have those win-win type situations, the more that you are in service to the collective in a very powerful and profound way. Now, the other aspect of this is that your soul just knows what it's doing, okay? So you don't even necessarily need to have those quote-unquote credentials. I mean, the human side of you, sure, they probably need that or want that, that's fine. But your soul knows what it's doing. Your soul is not a beginner. They just gave me the word expert. So your soul is an expert, and the Ascended Masters want you to know that you are actually on this path because you have done this many, many times before. You know what you're doing. This is not your first rodeo, group number 2. You've been around the block, and that's why when that call comes in, you intuitively are like, oh yes, right. I set myself that reminder. I remember setting that alarm subconsciously, at soul level. You might not have conscious awareness of this, but you're like, right, okay, that's the go signal for me to get down to work here and get to business. So you might experience a profound change in your life if you haven't even started this yet. You might kind of go like 180 degrees flip in your life. Like one day you're working at a very conventional job, doing conventional things, talking about conventional stuff. Oh, the weather's nice today. Did you see what's in the news? Blah, blah, blah. And then the next day you have this realization, and that like kind of alarm clock goes off, and at soul level you're like, it's go time. And you're like traveling the world and learning these things and taking courses and working with people, and you just start like going full force down the rabbit hole of your spiritual service and what that actually looks like for you. And that can change and evolve. So maybe this isn't even happening right now. Maybe you're already on this path, and I think it's just changing and evolving right now if that's the case. I think that there's predominantly the former people who are still kind of like just in the beginning stages of this, but I think some of you are actually fairly down this path. Like you've gone quite a ways down this path already, and you're already doing service work and stuff like that. And so you're like, yeah, I went through that. I know exactly what you're talking about, Siobhan, because that was what happened. And here I am doing the service work and watching a tarot reading and like full on down the rabbit hole type of thing, And for you guys, there's like a next stage coming, and you're actually going to be experiencing the success that you've been working towards. So your service is paying off, and you're seeing the outcomes of that, the rewards of that. That's what they said was rewards, but I don't know what that's going to look like for you. Like, is that going to be money? Is that going to be freedom? Is that going to be personal empowerment? Is it going to be the rewards of seeing other people really thrive and have miraculous level healing where their lives are turned around and they're coming back to you and saying like, thank you so much. You changed my life. And that is the greatest reward of all. Like, I just got shivers saying that because I've had that happen a few times with clients, like, well, more than a few times, but I'm not trying to toot my own horn here or anything. I'm just like, that is one of the most satisfying and gratifying things, is to have somebody say, your work really helped me. And that's what it's about, right? Like, that's what being in service to others is all about. It is helping other people. It is supporting them. It is loving them into them being able to love themselves, or giving them clarity or insight or information into helping them to find that for themselves, right? It's empowering other people. Empowering other people is empowering to you. That's a win-win again, right? That's alignment. So I feel like that is really what your soul is doing right now. And that's why the Ascended Masters brought you here to this reading and wanted to talk about this, because they have done that too. That's literally what the Ascended Masters do. And I feel like this is part of your path too. And you may be even working towards mastery like that, because you're an expert. An expert is not that far off from master. Let me just put it that way, okay? So, I mean, you're listening. Good for you, group 2. You are listening and you are working and you are making a difference. So yeah, the Ascended Masters really wanted to tell you that. And I do feel this card, the Hanged Man. Oh, that was the last one that came up in group number 1. Well, right, because it was on the bottom. Anyway, the Hanged Man here. Yeah, again, I'm getting Jesus vibes. Like, I just keep getting those Jesus vibes. So Jesus is probably one of the main Ascended Masters that you work with. You have the Queen of Cups, healer. Yeah, you're a healer, group number 2. You heal people. You provide insight. You might be a psychic or intuitive, an energy healer, a reader. You do good work is what Spirit just said. That's what the Ascended Masters are. Yeah, they're like, you do good work, good service. Thank you for that. And the Hermit. Again, I'm just getting Jesus vibes. Like, I can't see anything else but Jesus in this reading. It's crazy. Yeah, it's like the humble hermit who is here to help the world. And doing so through a little bit of self-sacrifice, but not self-sacrifice to the point that you are giving away your energy or your power. It's sacrifice in the sense that you're kind of giving up the desires of the human ego and dedicating yourself to a committed life of service. And that doesn't mean that you can't have all of the things that you desire or you wish for at that human level, but there are certain things that will require you to have discipline in such a way that it is kind of a sacrifice, but you're not giving up anything that you don't really need. Or wait, what am I trying to say? You're not giving up anything that you really need. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. You're not giving up anything that is crucial. It's sacrificing the things that are a little bit more superfluous and dedicating your life to something that is infinitely valuable, priceless, 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 priceless. Like, the work you are doing is beyond valuable. It is crucial. Okay, like, they are emphasizing that so hard. 2 of Wands, that came up in group 1 as well. Yeah, you're gonna help the world. See, he's got the world in his hands. So don't feel too responsible. I want to say, like, make sure that you're not feeling like you are the one and only savior and people can only heal through you, because I can tell you that that savior complex will only run you ragged. All right, so we got to sometimes check our egos as healers and know that, not like I'm the only one who can heal people, not that kind of ego, but like the ego of, this person needs me and so I need to help them. And sometimes that will be to your own detriment. You got to watch yourself with that, okay? Because there are times to make necessary sacrifices and then there are times to not. You don't want to create dependency or enable anyone. You want to empower them authentically, which sometimes means letting people make mistakes or letting people learn on their own or pulling your energy back and not keeping people dependent on your services or your help or what you're able to give. Just because you can give it doesn't necessarily mean that you always should. So it's a little bit of a tricky kind of balance, but I think that as the expert that you are at soul level, you're naturally kind of finding the balance here and working with that so that you know when to pull back with the Hermit energy and then when to give, Queen of Cups, right? So there is balance there. Just make sure that you are keeping your energy healthy, because you really cannot be of service to anyone if you are running yourself ragged. Let me tell you, I learned that the hard way, like the very hard way. Chronic burnout, chronic fatigue, debt, like across the board, energetically and financially. And it's just trying to help other people to that point is not helping anyone, because your embodied energy is what is the most service. Like, that is what does the best service, is you being in your empowered energy. That's why it says reclaim your energy, because it's through that that you're able to help the best, because you're emitting that frequency. But if you're in a state of lack, if you're in a state of, you're overdrawn energetically or financially. You're not helping anyone. So make sure, group number 2, if you are going to be here to do service work, you gotta take care of yourself. And I'm talking straight to myself as I'm saying this too. The Ascended Masters are like, look at yourself in the reflection in the window, Siobhan, because this is for you too. And that's what I'm doing. I'm looking at myself in the reflection. Like, I am in group 2 as well with you guys, and we got to take care of ourselves. And I am so guilty for not keeping up on that. And it really sucks, and it's so hard. But we have to be diligent with that. And I have to do better too. Like, I have to do better in taking care of myself so that I can really show up for people and bring value to their lives. Because I know that when I do, it is powerful. And that's the same thing with you, group 2. When you show up and you help other people, it is powerful. It is beyond powerful. And it is mutually beneficial, but only when you're coming from that energy of fullness. Only when you're coming from having more than enough to give. So you've got to make sure, cliche, but it's true, you got to fill your own cup before you pour into others. Straight up, like Queen of Cups. You got to be the queen of those cups. Reclaim your energy. All right, let me see what else. Anything else? Prince of Swords. Yeah, you came here on a mission. I am also seeing Archangel Michael. You guys may be working with Archangel Michael, maybe one of those souls that, or angels that you feel drawn to. But I see communication being important here, and listening is one side of communication, right? Because communication isn't just talking, it's also listening. So I do feel like your service work is teaching, speaking, or listening, holding space for other people. Yeah. Divine communication, that's part of it for sure. Empathy and compassion, that's another huge component of your service. And yeah, you're going to be blessed so that you can bless others. You are blessed. I don't even want to say you're going to be blessed. Group 2, you are blessed, and it's through your own blessedness. That's not a word. It's through your own state of blessing that you are blessing other people. So make sure that you are in that state of blessed. And then boom, everybody just, you're like, you get a blessing, you get a blessing, you get a blessing. You're like Oprah over here. So thank you for being here, because we need more people like that on the team, right? Like, the more of us who are doing that, the more successful we're going to be. It takes teamwork to make the dream work. And even though we don't know each other, even though I've never met you in person, we're on the same team. And we're doing it. We're getting it. So, go team. And that's what the Ascended Masters are too. They're on our team. They just came before us, that's all. They were like the first wave. And now it's a relay race, and we're the second wave, or the third wave, or the fourth, or whatever. But we're all here, and they were here, and now they're cheering us on from the sideline. Not really the sidelines, because they're still involved, but yeah, they're like coaching us through it. We're the ground team, and they're the sky team. You know, it's like we're like the doing the Mission Impossible, and they're in the computer lab, like giving us directions and saying, okay, up ahead, you're going to go left, and oh, look out, there's a bad guy, you know, or the code is such and such and such. And then, you know, we have this breakthrough. That's what the Ascended Masters are here helping you do. And that is how we're going to accomplish this goal of raising the consciousness of humanity and helping the world to heal. Because my God, does it need it? Like, it needs it so bad. It's so bad. And that's what we're here doing. So kudos to you. Kudos to us. Sending you so much love, group number 2. Thank you for being here. Again, not just in this reading, but on this planet at this time, doing this work. You are valuable. You are blessed. You are a rare success. So much love for you. So thank you for being here, group 2. I hope this reading gave you some insight, clarity, confirmation, or just made you feel good. That's my goal. And I love you guys. We'll see you in the next reading. Oh, and if you want to book a private or personal reading with me, I am taking clients right now. So if there's spots available, you can book through my website, which is linked in the description box below. It's tarotandbeyond.com. I love you guys. We'll see you in the next reading. Bye. All right. Hi, group number 3. Welcome to your Ascended Master reading. Let's take a look at your cards and see what the Ascended Masters want to say to you. Okay, we have a green Tara, the Buddha of enlightened action. My soul informs my every step. I do what my heart compels me to do. Okay, you also have milk and honey. Okay, this is looking pretty positive. I'm really liking these two energies. It feels like abundance, really. That's what I'm getting right away. Just so much abundance. Let's get the rest of your cards. Assertiveness. This situation can be healed gently and with love, as you've requested, yet there's also a need for your strength and truthfulness with the other people involved. We will stand right behind you as you speak your truth, giving you strength and guiding your words. Okay, so the Ascended Masters are helping you to assert something, assert yourself. They're showing me the flute in her hand, and it's kind of like the Pied Piper. Oh, people have been coercing you. Yeah, because they're showing me the Pied Piper in Shrek when he switches his flute to ogre and then he makes them all dance. Yeah, it's like somebody's been controlling you and you need to be assertive to take your power back. But let me keep going. I don't want to get ahead of myself here. And you've got teacher. Mahachoch, oh my god, I cannot say that name. Mahachohan Ragosi. I don't know who this Ascended Master is, but he's here. Okay, and let's see. Acceptance. I am learning to accept the things that I cannot change. Teacher and learning back to back. That seems significant to me. It's really standing out. Okay. Actually, I do want to put this in the middle like I did for the other two groups. You've got goodwill, Goddess Gaia. You've got Goddess Green Tara and Goddess Gaia. Yeah, these are both very similar energies. Ocean Jasper, goodwill. So there's definitely like Earth Goddess energy, very prevalent in your reading. Very strong. Trust your innocence. Group number 3, trust your innocence. And that's what I like. Milk and honey feels like abundance and innocence and sweetness. It's just like comfort, you know, it just feels like comfort. So I just get this feeling that your soul is very grounded and very abundant, but there's something going on right now where someone has been kind of leading you on in a way, or it could even be a teacher, could even be somebody who's teaching you, and they're kind of controlling you in a way. And it's time for you to accept what you can control, for which is always yourself, right? And I feel like this acceptance it's not so much about learning what you can't change as learning what you can change. And if someone has been kind of controlling how you operate in your day-to-day life, or maybe it's not even someone outside of you, maybe it's just your own conditioning from the way you were taught to be. Okay, that could be it too. Like when you were a child, your innocence, you may have been controlled by your caregivers, your parents, or your teachers even from a young age, and that was internalized, and maybe that the behaviors that you're experiencing now as an adult are still kind of reflective of that, or repeating those same patterns. It feels like conditioning, but underneath that, there's like this massive richness that I'm feeling. It's like you are so fertile, group number 3. I can't get over this green goddess energy, the earth energy, and the milk and honey. It feels like you could just go lay down in the forest and all these plants would just grow around you. Like you've got that green touch. You're just like a blessing to the earth, and you are the earth incarnate is almost what it feels like. So yeah, you can create anything. And that's why I think the other person or people in your life along the way tried to control you because they felt that power and abundance. But it's not like a harsh, bold, assertive power. It's very soft and gentle. It's very soft and gentle, very innocent. And I think that's why people see that and they're like, oh, that soft, gentle innocence means that I can control them. But they took your kindness for weakness, which it's not. It's really not. But it is time for you to learn to be a little bit more assertive. And that doesn't mean harsh. It doesn't mean blunt. It doesn't mean controlling in any way. It just means that you are learning to choose you and what you need and what you want to create and why. So listening to yourself is really what I'm seeing here. Your soul informing every step that you take, because I see that before it was what other people thought you should do, or what they told you to do, or what they conditioned you to believe that you had to do. But really, it's like you're meant to be a free agent. You are like, again, you are this child of the earth, and you are here to just grow and be free and wild. So if anyone has been controlling you or limiting your growth, yeah, that's gotta stop. And the only one who can change that is you, because you're the only one who's in control of your life. Or at least that's the way it should be, because you are a creator. So the Ascended Masters, they've called you to this reading today. Like if your intuition compelled you to group number 3, there's a reason. And the Ascended Masters are trying to show you your strength. And your strength is slow and gentle and innocent. But my God, is it powerful. You plant a seed and that seed can crack through pavement. So don't let anybody tell you what you can and can't do, group number 3. Don't let anybody coerce you, guilt you, or control you into doing what they think you should be doing. You listen to your heart. You listen to your body, because it's going to tell you right away what it is that you need. And every time you follow that instinct, because for you, intuition and instinct are coupled. They're married for you. They're very much the same thing. As a very physically oriented natural being, your intuition is through your body. For some, it's not so much. It's more out of the body. But for you, you're like a nature spirit. And so it's all through your body and your physical state of being. And connecting to nature can help you to get more grounded and to listen to your heart and to that instinct again. So you'll feel more abundant because you're more grounded and more in your natural state of being, which is your power. So connect to nature, connect to flowers, the earth, trees, plants of all kinds. Go out into green spaces, even if it's like a soccer field. Like if you live in a city and you don't have any nature or forests, just straight up go to anywhere that has grass, okay? Like a front lawn, a soccer field, whatever, anything, because you need it. Group number 3. It's like food for your soul. We all need that, humans. We all need that because we're literally animals, okay? We forget this because we're like bipedal. We got big brains. I got big brains. But we are animals. We are mammals. And we evolved, yeah, but we're still animals nonetheless. We just domesticated ourselves. That's all. I don't know. Was that a good thing? Was it? I don't know. But anyway, point being is that you need to ground regularly, like especially because you are so connected to the nature spirits and the earth and the power within that. The physicality, the growth in that is so beyond what you've ever experienced, group number 3. Like they're showing me some crazy stuff right now where you can literally create anything, because you are a master, you are a goddess of the earth, and work with the elements of the earth too. Earth, air, fire, water, ether, but also with food, plants, animals, substances. Like I can see you doing really well with like food magic, or like physical level healing and regeneration, growth in all forms, like positive creation and growth. You're very good at that. Okay. Very naturally good at that. You might even be someone who teaches that. And in the positive aspect of the Pied Piper, you might be somebody who leads people back to nature. You might be teaching people how to accept their natural spirit of the earth within them, within their body, within their physicality. You might be somebody who helps people to come back into their own power and to be a little bit more assertive, because when you're grounded, you can be a little bit more assertive because you feel what's true for you. You're able to listen and trust your body to know what you need, and then you uphold that. You set the boundary, you communicate it, you listen and do based on what you feel. So yeah, I see like a lot of sweetness and blessings coming from that. If you're teaching this, or if you're accepting this path for yourself and you're creating in this way, there's a lot of good, nutritious is what they just said. The Ascended Masters are really focusing on, like, they just keep showing me these kind of like concoctions that you're making. I don't know, like you would do really well on a plant-based diet, I think, group number 3, and not for like animal cruelty reasons, but just because it's more close to the earth. Like you're not having to go through the animal to get those plants. You're getting it straight from the plants themselves. And it's like feeding your soul, because you have a large energy that is interconnected with the planet in this way, like specifically. And you might even work with earth goddesses or earth or nature spirits quite frequently. Like those might be the types of Ascended Masters that you're naturally drawing in, because it is a reflection of who you are at soul level. So you'd want to look for like Gaia and Green Tara, and who else? Green Man is another one you might see sometimes if you're out in the forest. It's like seeing the faces in the leaves or on the bark of the trees. That's Green Man, and he'll come and say what up, and he'll let you know. And he's benevolent, especially to people like you who are nature spirits incarnate, basically. Like you belong in the nature. Like you're meant to be there. You're not going to be cast out like some other humans or side-eyed, because you come with respect and reverence, and they feel that because you're one of them. So yeah, I think that being able to reconnect to this, or even just dive more into this, or teach this, or share this in some way, I feel like that is really what the Ascended Masters are looking for you to acknowledge right now. And they're showing me like picking up garbage outside and cleaning up an environment. So this could be metaphor for you cleaning up your own environment, or it could be metaphor for you wanting, or it could be literal for you wanting to clean up the earth, because you are very connected to these nature spirits. You, of course, would naturally want the earth to be pristine and natural and healthy, because you're one of the nature spirits. And so, of course, you want that for like your brothers and sisters, like the trees and the plants and the flowers. So I think that could be part of accepting what you can change. Like you don't have to take responsibility for overhauling the entire world. Like you're not here to clean up the garbage island or whatever, but you are here to make a difference, and you can do so by teaching other people and embodying it yourself, because that's the best form of teaching, is not to try and control other people and tell them what to do or not do, but it's through embodying for yourself. That's how we learn, and that's how we learn as kids too. It's through modeling. Like it's monkey see, monkey do. And a lot of the time parents will be do as I say, do not as I do, but it doesn't work like that because we learn through observation, and it's what was modeled to us that we end up doing and being. So I want you, and this is spirit talking, this is ascended masters talking to you, I want you to be a model for what a natural world and a human society that lives at one with nature would look like. What would that look like? What would our housing look like? What would transportation look like? What would our relationship with nature look like? Or how would that change or improve? And what can you do to be that right now? Because that is what's going to lead people down this path of reconnecting with our roots, literally and figuratively, our roots, because we come from nature. We are born of this earth, and when we die, we will return to it. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. And you're here to embody the sweetness of the connection to Mother Nature and how people can really benefit by reconnecting to that within themselves. It's like rewilding a little bit, you know? So I want to grab some tarot cards, I think, for you guys. Yeah, I do feel this one. Whoa, okay. What's going on? Two of Pentacles. Earth energy, first out of the cards. Yeah, I'm not surprised. So you're helping people to find balance in some way, and so you're being called to do that too, right? Like if you want to help other people do something, you've got to do it for yourself. And the Ascended Masters are saying that it's about finding the right balance and meeting people in the middle. So like, let's say for example, now this doesn't have to directly apply to you literally, but let's say for example, you're a vegan and you want other people to be vegan because it will do less damage to the earth, it will require less water, it will hurt less beings, there will be less suffering, less agricultural land used for those types of production plants, all of that stuff. There'll be less waste, etc. It's not about trying to control other people. It is about being that for yourself and showing people the benefits of it, not trying to shove it down their throats, just being that. They're like, oh, your skin's glowing. What do you do? And you're like, oh, I'm vegan. Or you just like, you're out there picking up garbage. You don't blast it all over social media or brag about it. You're just doing it because it's the right thing. And then people see that and they get inspired and they want to do it too. So it's finding the balance and meeting people in the middle. You're not trying to coerce or change them. And I think that if that is an approach that you take, I don't know if it is, but if it is an approach that you take or you find yourself having taken in the past, it's because you learned that and you were modeled that. So again, that's not your fault. That's just the way that you were taught to make a change by trying to control things. Or if you find that other people do that to you, if it's the opposite, right? If you find that other people do that to you, again, it's about being assertive and just doing what feels right for you. And then finding a way to get to some common ground and create a balance where you can meet in the middle with people and have some understanding. Okay, let's see what else. I do feel this one. Judgment. Yeah, it's not about judging other people and their choices. It's just about embodying what you want to do and sticking with that. Because the more you do that, the more you're going to see changes happen in the world around you. But I feel like the Ascended Masters here are also talking about a higher calling that you have. You definitely do have a higher calling to assist the world in healing itself. And you are meant to teach other people or lead other people in that direction. But there are some people who you will not be able to convince. There are some people who no amount of modeling or information or anything will help them to see the light. And there are some people who are just going to throw trash on the highway. And it breaks my heart every time I see that. I'm like that Lakota Indian, just like that one single tear running down my face every time I see a garbage pile on the side of the road. Because I'm just like, who does that? Like, who are the assholes that just throw their garbage into the forest? Like, literally, I drive through, okay, sorry, this is a bit of a tangent, but this is relevant to the reading. I drive through this beautiful old growth forest with moss overhanging this curvy, twisting road on the way home to my home. And periodically, there will just be like heaps of garbage that people have randomly dumped. And I'm not talking like one soda can or one, bag of takeout or something, whatever. It's like a couch and like 5 garbage bags, and they've ripped open and there's just shit everywhere. And it makes me sad and also angry. And if you feel that way too, group number 3, Spirit wants you to know that there are certain things that you cannot change, but it's also about learning what you can. And for me, learning what I couldn't change is that I can't, I'm not in control of what those people do. And I don't have the physical means to be able to go out and lift up that couch and clean up that garbage on my own. And I know the city will do it eventually, so that's good. But what I can do is go out and connect to the earth on my own time. What I can do is go to the grocery store and buy some organic, low waste products. And what I can do is go out there and pick up some garbage around my house, in the little forest trail behind my house. So there are things that we can do, and it might not seem like you're making that much of a difference, but you are. And you are modeling that behavior as well. The world, look at that. Gaia, the world. Green Tara, the world. And then you have the world card. Okay? The Ascended Masters are speaking so clearly to you, group number 3, that you are here to improve the world in some way. That is true. I see that here. But it's not going to be through force. It is through gentleness. It is through sweetness. It is through slow, consistent growth. That is what I see. But you will get there, and the world will change. It's already happening. Ace of Swords. You can share the information. You're definitely a teacher, okay? So this is definitely you, because you've got the Ace of Swords here, which is talking about communication, teaching, sharing insights, information, providing context. But again, the best way to teach is just to be it. Just to be it. Because that's when people really want to mirror it. And they just showed me like a vlogger, somebody doing vlogging. So I don't know, maybe you're teaching other people through sharing your experiences. You know how travel bloggers or vloggers will share their travel experiences? I feel like this is kind of, that even might be that, because we do have the world here. So you might be like a travel vlogger or something. But I was thinking about it in the context of like sharing your earth-friendly habits and your lifestyle. You're like, it's like, what is that aesthetic? There's an aesthetic that they call like fairy core or green girl. Is that a thing? Or did I just make that up? Green girl? Green girl aesthetic, where you're just like really kind of earthy and I don't know. And if you're a guy, green guy, whatever, it's still alliteration. There's still 2 G's. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm seeing. Is like you're here to make a difference, and it's through what you're doing. And if you want to share that, that helps too. The Fool. You are one with nature. Look at that. Her dress just blends into the background. You are one with nature. And you're here to be an advocate, is what the Ascended Masters just said. You're here to be an advocate for nature. You are, they just said nature speaks through you. So you are the voice of nature, group number 3. You speak for nature. You speak on behalf of nature. And sometimes nature is pissed off. Let me tell you, there are some trees in the forest behind my house that are angry with humans. And they have every right to be, because they've been mistreated. They've been cut down. They've seen their family fallen for no reason. Like not even to build things. They just leave the trees. I don't know why they do that. They just cut them down and leave them there. It's like, what was the point of that? Yeah, so it's just, nature needs a voice, and it doesn't have a voice of its own, not necessarily in a human sense, but but that's what you are. You're an advocate for nature. And so you're here to teach people that, but you can't do it through being angry. You need to do it in a very gentle, soft, open, welcoming way, because that is where people are going to be more willing to listen. And then you have the Ace of Discs, again, earth energy. You are, they just said you're a seed bearer. Yeah, because that's what they were showing me before, you lying in the forest, and it's like everything just grows around you. You just have that green thumb. But yeah, here we go. Like, you offer something up. You plant seeds, both proverbially and maybe literally. Maybe you actually have a green thumb and you like to plant things. I admire that, because I cannot keep plants alive to save my life. Like, I really try, and I feel so bad every time they die. But I have ADHD, and I have a real forgetful streak where I will not water things, and sometimes I'll forget if I have watered it, so I'll water it too much. So my plants are either dying of dehydration or I'm drowning them by accident. I'm so sorry. So I just let the plants grow wild in the outside, because they're better off there. And the Princess of Cups. Don't overwater. Yeah. Don't overwater people. And don't let them overwater you with their own opinions or their own, need to control. You just do you, group number 3. That's really what I see here. And the Ascended Masters want you to know that you're doing good work here for the earth, and they're thankful. Yeah, they're thankful and they're grateful that you are speaking your truth, is what they just said. So you're speaking your truth, you're living your truth, and that's a form of communicating as well. Yeah, pretty much the same message. So that is, I think, everything here from the Ascended Masters for you, group 3. Let me see if there's anything else. Yeah, they just said perk up, buttercup. I don't know if that means something to you, or if it's just kind of like keep your chin up kind of thing. Keep yourself optimistic. Don't get discouraged if you see a lot of trash in the world, both literally or otherwise. Just keep your eye on what you're here to do and be, and that will make the biggest difference. And you are helping the earth to heal. So thank you for that. All right, guys, I think I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much, group number 3, for being here. I love you. Thank you for doing this beautiful work for the earth. It definitely needs it. And I'm so glad that you're here being an advocate. I love you guys. And and if you want to book a reading with me, I am taking clients at the moment. You can book through the link in the description box below to my website. It's tarotandbeyond.com. All right. We'll see you in the next reading. Bye.